Hi everyone, welcome to the 14th video in the series Easy Ways to Fill a Sketchbook. If this is the first time you are watching a video from this series, basically this series is about using all the letters, all the 26 letters from the alphabet to come up with ideas to draw. So today we are going to draw something that starts with the letter N, and I'm thinking of New York City. So this is the view that I'm going to try and draw. By the way, this view is from the app called Google Earth. So with Google Earth, you can actually zoom in, zoom into the city. You can display the 3D view like this, and you can basically move around and choose the composition that you want. So for today's drawing, I want to choose a composition that is top down. Now you can use two fingers horizontally like this, placed horizontally side by side like this to turn it, or you can use your two fingers positioned vertically to move around. So let me tilt this down like this. You can also take a screenshot and work on it later on. So I'm going to just draw like this. So before I start, I'm going to use a pencil to mark out the tallest building there, just so that I can fit that building in. This is a very complicated scene, so I want to try and use my pencil first. Now the angle of the building, it's tilted slightly like this because of perspective. So when I draw, I need to make sure I get the perspective right. At least the lines, the vertical lines, they should tilt slightly. Let me try and measure that. Yep. So I'm placing my finger here just to remind me that I should tilt the vertical line. I have been to New York City before, more specifically Manhattan. That was probably in 2008. It was a very long time ago, so I'm not able to remember much from that trip. But it was a really enjoyable trip. That was actually before I started sketching, so most of my memories of New York City are actually just from the photos that I took over there, which I took a lot of photos. But the thing with taking photos versus sketching on location is when you sketch on location, you spend a few hours drawing there. You will be able to remember more of what you see in front of you because you spend a lot more time drawing there versus taking photo, which is just the snap of a button. It's you're not going to remember much. The only way you can remember the trip is through looking back at your photos. I've actually been to Manhattan before. That was many years ago, and I'm not able to remember much from the trip because that was before I started sketching. So with sketching, I'm able to remember a lot more because I would usually spend a few hours on location just to sketch. By the way, if you guys hear any strange noises, that's because my daughter Tiffany, she is in the room somewhere walking around. Maybe you will get to see her hands later on. So okay, so I've done the pencil for this, and that's the most important thing. For the rest of the other sketches, rest of the scene, I'm just going to draw with my pen. Since the last video I made for this series, Singapore has announced that the partial lockdown may extend to 1st of June, so that's an additional 4 weeks. Depending on the number of cases that we are going to see for the next 2 weeks, there may be stricter or less measures. Let's hope for the best but prepare for the worst. So I've read from the news that New York City has been hit really hard, and major cities with really dense population, those cities, they are really at risk because there are just so many people moving around. So we have to be very careful and really try to stay home as much as possible. You may notice that I'm holding my pen really high up. That's because I don't want my hand to block the lines so that you guys can see the lines. And as I draw to the left side, I'm beginning to lose concentration, or I'm starting to lose track of what I'm drawing. So some of the buildings there may not be there. I'm actually taking my own liberty, using my artistic impression to invent or subtract some buildings. This is the pen and ink sketch, which took me about an hour to draw. So I had to draw this really quickly because I had to rush to work. I'm now working from home, so I only had 1 hour to draw this before I had to start work. So this part of the video that you're watching now was actually recorded on a separate day. So now I'm going to paint this with Sumi ink today. This is Winsor & Newton liquid India ink. This is actually Sumi ink because this ink is made from grinding Chinese ink sticks. I'm using Sumi ink today because I don't have a lot of time, and Sumi ink is a very fast medium. You just think in black and white, you think in tonal values, so it's very easy to just paint very quickly. The only time I can record videos like this is when Tiffany is sleeping, and today Tiffany has decided not to take a nap, so that's why I really don't have a lot of time to record this video. I have to work like really fast when I have quiet moments of time. This sketch is almost done. Now I just need to add some shadows and also paint the areas that I accidentally left out. Alright, done. It's really satisfying to see the completed sketch. So here's the close-up on the sketch. Now this is the area where I sort of lost concentration. So the lines here at the left side of the page, they are a bit more sketchy, and also I did not connect the lines as properly, as neatly as I did on the right side. So you can see for this particular sketch, it's just a very simple ink wash. I only use one or two tonal values, actually just one, for everything that is not white, and the second wash is the shadow, which overlays the first wash. So this is a relatively simple sketch to paint. The only challenge here is you need patience to paint all the details. So this is the sort of sketch that that's great to draw when you have a lot of time. That's Tiffany dropping something on the floor. Alright, if you guys have been following along with this series and taking up this art challenge, do share your work on your social media pages and share it with the hashtag azsketchbook so that we can all see what we have drawn. It's going to be fun. It is fun. Alright, thanks for watching today's video. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.